Every day, over 3,000 teens with friends and families just like you will attempt suicide. 1 in 25 of those 3,000 suicide attempts will be completed. In the blink of an eye, an entire life full of experiences and opportunities yet to come will come to an end.
As a society, we all know that suicide is a heartbreaking way out, but this leads us to wonder why it continues to be a problem and why the teen suicide rate is actually increasing. Scott Farmer, one of the psychologists that we interviewed, talked about how we need to focus on more root problems, things that lead to suicide, and typically start from a young age.
We have to maybe do a better job of getting rid of the current belief systems in adults and in what would you call school? Organizations.
An institution.
An institution, thank you.
Yeah.
That may work well. Institutions, people who are running institutions. There's a Buddhist saying that says only a scared or hurt dog attacks. And it's the same with humans. Humans are very compassionate, altruistic people. So to answer your question, the people that are in charge of these institutions, whether it's the judicial system, the political system, or the school system, they have to get a better grasp on what is actually going on and let go of the 1950s, and I'm being a little bit dramatic here, but this old way of thinking.
In order to better understand what a possible teen suicide victim can look like and how, as teens ourselves, we can notice and better understand the problem, we must look at real survivors.
Jennifer Parrise was only 14 years old when she first attempted suicide. She had a recent tragedy when her boyfriend and best friend had both been murdered, leading her to thoughts of suicide. Jennifer says, "I remember walking across the bridge over the freeway and wanting to throw myself over it because I thought it was my fault. I blamed myself for years."
She would later be diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which would put her at an even higher risk of being suicidal. Jennifer ended up attempting to overdose, but woke up a day and a half later. Had she received the proper care and attention early enough, she would not have required a near-death experience to realize that she wanted to live.
Suicide doesn't just affect the older side of youth, but also younger children. Richard Cole was only 10 years old when he decided he was going to kill himself and claims to have thought about it every day since he was a child. "I would wake up every single day and think, I can get up and I can brush my teeth or I can kill myself. I can go to school today or I can kill myself. I never thought about what I wanted to be when I grew up because I knew I would be dead by 18. I announced I would kill myself one day at the Thanksgiving table. I was 10 years old."
Cole would later go on to shoot himself in the chest a few years later. He defied the medical odds to survive and spends his days informing people about suicide and suicidal tendencies. Richard Cole showed so many signs of being suicidal, all of which were ignored.
By looking at these survivor stories, it is easy to understand that suicide is preventable.
Suicide is a terrible thing, but it doesn't need to be inevitable. There are so many ways we can help, and it all starts with you.